What's up out there? This is day 4 of a Ready Mix Driver. Today, I didn't have no work due to it's snowing. I had told y'all before, I think in day 3 and day 2, but I told y'all before that based upon the weather can determine whether I go to work or not, and based upon the customers, because usually whatever the weather will be like, the customers will choose and say, hey, we're not gonna do no work today. So today, as a Ready Mix Driver, today is Monday. We had no work, but tomorrow they have us on the schedule for 10 o'clock a.m. That's late. Be honest with you, do I like to come in at that time? No. But I take what I can get. Do I have time to use? Yes, I have time to use. But I utilize it accordingly. So I'm very careful how I utilize my time. So tomorrow, 10 o'clock, but today no work. They kind of did a good job on the roads, because last time it snowed, it was crazy. It was real crazy. I give y'all the street if y'all can see. Hold on. So did a pretty good job, but the streets were covered in snow. So, well, other than that, I just shoveled my driveway. Had to take off snow for all 3 vehicles, and that was just a work in itself. But I thank God for my son. My son helped me out a whole lot. He did majority of the work. You know, most kids, they don't want to work. But no work today. Overall, it's a good job, and I enjoy doing what I do. Like I told you before, I enjoy traveling, moving around to different towns within Delaware. Sometimes we travel to, you can go to PA, depending how much work they have. In Maryland, we also go to Maryland. So Delaware, PA, and Maryland. Those are the only places we go. Yeah, so I'm over here. I stopped at so I'm over here. Like I said, I stopped over here at Walmart. I gotta go over here and get some little stuff for dinner tonight. But doing this Ready Mix Driver work is pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. I remember the time when anybody who drives a Ready Mixer truck, you gotta go through the weight. You gotta go through the weight station. So I'm telling my story as a Ready Mix Driver. I was driving and I was in a zone. Let me make sure this car is locked. Oh shoot, hold on. I didn't even turn off my light. Yeah, so I was driving and I was in a zone. Like, you know, you driving, sometimes you zone out. I zoned out at the wrong time. I zoned out and I passed the weight station. So I noticed it, but by the time I noticed it, I kind of passed it. Maybe I could have backed up and went in there, but I said, nah, I just keep going. I get like 2 minutes down the road and the police in back of me and pulled me over. So I went over. Officer wasn't nasty. It was nice, and he was like, I really didn't want to give you no ticket. And he said, you seem like a nice person. My license is clean. But he had to give me a ticket. Now, do they penalize you a point on your license that I know of? I don't think so. Went on there. It was on my record as me passing the weight station. I got a ticket for the weight station. But as further as points on your license, no, I don't think so. I haven't seen any point on my license for that. But they do put it on your record. How long? I don't know. If I find out how long do they keep it on there, or somebody know, please share. But I passed it, and the job, they asked me what happened, so I let them know. And you don't really get in trouble by the job. It's something that you gotta pay on your own. So once you pass, give them your ticket. You give your ticket to your job, and you let them know what's up, and then they just take a copy of it. But the ticket you pay yourself. The job do not pay your ticket if you get a ticket in the wait station for passing the wait station. You pass it, that's all on you. So just a heads up for people who just start in the ready mixer job. Do not pass that wait station. Make sure you go through that wait station. And another thing, make sure that your axles is down if you're loaded. If you loaded, please make sure your axles is down. Make sure your axles is down, because they can give you a ticket for that. I went through the wait station too, and my axles wasn't down, and I was loaded. I think I had about like 5 yards of concrete on my truck. And he says, oh, your axle's not down. Can you let them down? So I'm guessing he's probably assuming that they probably wasn't working. So I let him down, and he let me go. They stopped me, but they let me go. As long as they working. So always make sure you check to make sure your axles is working before you leave that plant. And if it isn't working, make sure you put it on your ticket, on your not your ticket, on your, what you call this thing, your log sheet. Make sure you put it on there, because if it's not on there and you get a ticket, you are held responsible for that ticket because you did not put it on your log book. You didn't you didn't write it in your log book and let the mechanic know that your axles isn't working. So make sure you do that. That is very important. And you always stay your distance. Driving these trucks, you got a whole load of concrete inside your truck. Make sure you stay your distance. It takes longer to stop. I believe if you're going 50 miles per hour, if I'm not mistaken, you're going 50 miles per hour in your regular car, it takes you about a whole football field to stop. If you don't know what a football field is, you need to go to a football field and find out how long is this football field. And then when you understand that it takes that long to stop at 50 miles per hour, then you already know what it is concerning with a truck and you fully loaded with concrete. Some things you can avoid a lot of things, but there's some things you just can't avoid. Somebody cut in front of you, you can't always avoid not hitting them. Sometimes you just gotta hit them. It's sad to say, you don't want to hurt nobody, but when you swerve, you wind up hurting yourself and hurting other people, more people than what you expected. Sometimes just hitting that one person actually that's it. That's just that one vehicle versus you swerving, trying to be safe and then swerve and hit other cars, other vehicles. So definitely do not swerve. Anything you driving a big vehicle, even your regular vehicle, do not swerve. That's why I say stay your distance. It's necessary that we gotta stay our distance when we are driving these ready mix trucks. Another thing, a lot of when you're driving on different types of terrains. So that you definitely will be you got to be mindful of that. So definitely be mindful of that. Different terrains you're riding on when you go on different job sites. There's certain places look like you can go, but you probably can't go, but you look like you can go. Always be sure. Always ask questions. Communicate. A lot of people don't understand communication is very important. So communication isn't only with words. Everything we do, we communicate, even with body language. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of that goes on at the construction sites. Body language. So you got to know body language, and as you be on the job long enough, you'll understand different types of body languages when you on the job site. Like you will know when somebody want water. When they want mixers, the ready mix drivers to have water or put more water inside their tank, they would actually do this. They would go like this, or they go like this. So that is a signal for more water, put more water inside it. So they're not telling you exactly how much, so you gotta assume like what they want, or you can ask them. Like me, I know what they want. So usually I would put like no more than 5 more gallons of water inside the concrete. And then when they do it again, they usually would tell you how much they want, because you don't just go crazy and put 10 gallon, 15 gallon. You don't do that. You put 2, 3, 4, 5 gallon, and most likely that's what they want. If it's not, they will tell you put more water. Like put 10 more gallon. They'll do this again, do that again, or go like this, put 10 more gallon, and then you put 10 more gallon, 20 more gallon. You mix it up, put it in full throttle, and mix up that drum while it's going real fast. But you don't mix up until you know that individual is ready. Never mix up your concrete soon as you get to the job site. Don't ever do that. You're trying to save water, and you don't have your drum spinning real fast. Don't ever do that. Have your drum spinning real fast. You on the job site and you got that drum spinning fast. All you're doing is heating up that concrete. Now the water is gonna begin to get absorbed or to begin to evaporate. Evaporate, because once it heats up, that means that water is getting absorbed in them rocks. Yes, rocks drink water. Some people don't know that or understand that. Rocks drink water. Yeah, so if you don't believe me that it drinks water, when you get a chance, get some rocks, right? Some rocks that's dried up, and then you get a cup. Put a handful of rocks or pebbles inside a cup and pour some water in there and see how much water the rocks will drink. And then you gotta remember, there's tons of rocks going inside this drum, and then you got the the cement that's sucking up water, and then you got the sand is pebbles, little tiny micro pebbles, you want to call it. They drinking water. So everything in there drink water, especially when that barrel get hot in the summertime. It heats up. You can lose water quickly. 150 gallon to carry around with you because you have concrete is not enough water all the time. Even 200 gallons sometimes is not enough, depending on the people on the job site, depending how much water they want, depending what kind of slump you left the yard with. That's very important. What you leave the yard with, the kind of slump you leave the yard in, and do you got a full tank of water? All that counts. So you got to be mindful of that. I'll tell you this story. Hold on one second. So write this story I had when I first started. I was training for a couple of weeks, and I'm on my own for I've been on my own for about maybe 2 weeks. And so I'm by myself, and I was talking to this guy named Bill, and he was like, one day you might go to the job site and you ain't gonna have no water. I was like, man, you must be out your mind. Ain't gonna have no water. I always make sure I fill up my tank. I'm gonna always come to the job site with some water in my tank. It's not happening. Me forgetting? Nah. I'm on point. So one day, and I think it could have been that same day. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was that same day. And then I usually always put the hose, the fire hose, because we use fire hose, to go connect onto the tank and fill up my water tank. But this specific time, I went to do it, and the guy Bill started talking to me. I think it was the next day. Yeah, it was the next day. And he was talking to me. When he was talking to me, I forgot that I didn't put water, connect the hose to to my tank. So I'm thinking, I got water in my tank, because that's what I usually do. I usually put the water hose first, clamp it on, and then I go to dispatch, not dispatch, to the office and pick up my paperwork. So that's what I did. I don't leave until I do that first. So I'm assuming I filled my tank up with water because I went and got my paperwork. But me talking to Bill, talking to me, distracting me, I went to the job site, zero water. And they wanted water. And don't forget, you need water for your mix to get to the right slump that people want. Not only that, you need water to wash down. And then the people on the job site want water from you so they could put in their bucket so they could wash off their tools. So I was like, oh snap, I ain't got no water. And guess who shows up? And he was right behind me. He had a load there too that he had to deliver. It was Bill right behind me. And I said, Bill, I done forgot to fill up my water tank talking to you. So thank God, he cool guy. He helped me out. He gave me some of his water. And I was able to wash down. I believe I washed down in the guy's pump truck. Because, he about to pour inside the pump truck. So I said before he start pumping the concrete, pouring the concrete into the pump truck, I said I'll just rinse off real quick. That's what I did. I rinse off, just good enough so there's no rocks or no concrete on the back of my chute so I can get to the plant. So that's what I did. So I was like, he saved the day for me. Because if he wasn't there, they wouldn't have no water for their concrete. They would have had to take it just like how it was. And I think, matter of fact, I think I went there with a nice amount of slump. I didn't even need for them to really put water. And if they did, I would act like I put water and let them take the concrete. I'm like, yeah, I put water in, but I still needed water to rinse off my shoe. So that was one of my things that happened to me when I first started. I ran out of water. I didn't have no water when I went on the job site. I had another job site I went to. They sent me to. We were pouring a wall. And the crazy thing about it, I had the right slump coming there. So then now the pump guy comes to me. That's why you do not listen to no pump driver. Do not listen to a pump driver. You be sure after the pump driver tell you the slump that he believed that the contractor won, because sometimes the pump driver works for the contractor that he's pumping for. But that don't mean nothing. You still ask the worker, the one who's controlling the concrete to go in the walls, the head man for that. You ask him or her, whoever it is up on that wall, ready to pour that concrete to fill up the wall. So he gonna tell me they want like a 6.5. Find out they didn't even want a 6.5. These guys wanted like a 5.5. He made me give him a 6.5. And he gonna tell me, oh, I didn't tell you that. I think he tried to say, I'm like, dude, you must be out your mind. And then he said, oh, don't worry about it. I said, yo, don't try to get me a rejected load. He said, don't worry about it. So there was other trucks behind me. They had to be like, this was a big house being built. There had to be like 10 other trucks behind me. That was on a Saturday. On a Saturday, we had Saturday work. So I was like the third truck. So when I get there and he tells me to do that, now I'm waiting now. All the trucks is coming. They lining up. All the trucks is coming. And then they're dumping off their load. So after that truck dump off their load, I'm checking my slump. The thing is still wet because my slump inside the concrete, they actually had put accelerator in it. So it makes the concrete a little more watery. You don't need to put that much water. So I messed up there because I didn't need to put that much water. Or you need a little bit of water when you have accelerator in the concrete mix. You don't need much water. So if you got like a 5 slump and you add about 5 gallon, you'll automatically hit a 5.5 slump. So you putting anything over 5 gallon and you got a 5 slump. So let me say this again. If you have accelerator in your mix, meaning it takes less water to get it thin. You have accelerator in there and you have it a 5 slump and you put more than 5 gallon in there and they want a 5.5, it's too wet. So the only way to do that, you gotta let the drum move slow. That'll tighten up the concrete. Me, I didn't know that. I was spinning the joint, making it faster. That don't make it dry up fast, if that's the correct word for those who know about the ready mix world. It doesn't make it the slump go down. It actually stays like that for a while. It's like you activating it. So to kind of deactivate the accelerator or slow down the accelerator from working, you move the barrel slower. So I waited. About 12 trucks went ahead of me. That was the last one I found. He finally takes the load because it's the last bid. And then I had leftovers. Nobody who does that are ready mix drivers don't like to have leftovers, unless you just don't want to work or you don't want to do a certain job. Like the old job I was at as a ready mix driver, we used to see everything for the day. Whatever job was on the day, we can see work for each company or different different companies, different sites where we can go. We see that all on the list. We can see every customer, even if they are a customer's a resident customer. Because people that's residents that lives in the house, they order concrete sometimes. So we can see if it's a COD, COD. COD, that's what we call COD jobs. For jobs that's like not industrial jobs, something like that. Yeah, but that's basically the story. One of my two stories, true life story that I had it with as a ready mix driver. Like I said, every ready mix driver, they mess up somewhere somehow. I don't think no one does anything purposely. Like, hey, we gonna purposely mess up. So but once again, it's cool. Got your trying days. Got the people on the sites, they try to test you, but as long as you hold your composure and you let them know what it is, can't say too much. People gonna say stuff, but just don't let it be true. Don't let nothing be true. And always record. Anything that you don't see right on the sites, take pictures of it. You taking pictures is actually a way of covering yourself. You see something on the site that look like a truck ran over and you know you didn't do it, take a picture. Hey, I'm over here, or take a video. I did not do this. I was over here just before you get it, because you're looking ahead of time. So when you start seeing stuff, oh snap, okay, let me take a picture. I ain't do this, because I've been on sites where people did stuff and they didn't say nothing that they did it, and I seen them do it, but they ain't say nothing. They rather somebody else get blamed. So always cover yourself. Write down everything so you don't forget. You're a person that forget, write it down. Talk, text it, whatever it is. But cover yourself on these job sites. I don't care what job site you're on, whether you're doing ready mix driver or any other job. Cover yourself, because people like to lie. But y'all have a good day. Bless y'all, and I thank y'all for watching. Peace out.